see Broadway's brightest live. Why spend Thursday nights drunk in a dive? They're friends with Rye, and he's a Broadway guy. He's your Broadway and entertainment BFF. It's Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway. He's a bundle of joy and happiness. He loves being here for you. He's a theater nerd who will share a word with a Broadway star or two. Our guests will have you on the floor like Orfeh, Benanti, and many more. Rye Myers, the gay Ryan Seacrest, your Broadway and entertainment BFF. It's Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway. On Broadway. On Broadway.
Woo! Hello everyone. Welcome to Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway. How you doing? Well, I'm Rye Myers. I'm your Broadway and Entertainment BFF. This is Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway, the only Broadway talk show in all of New York City. Thank you for coming out today, everyone, and hello to our friends at home watching. Thanks for tuning in. Some exciting things just to go over. So the theme song that you just heard was sung by the incredible Alyssa Ray from American Idol, season 20, top 9, composed by Jeffrey Schmelkin, with lyrics by Jay Brancato. I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor for the show. It is Royal Oak. It is the new off-Broadway show downtown. It's Theater Fashion Fusion, written, directed, and investigated by Justin Vibert. I'm giving away 2 pairs of tickets to that, so thanks to our sponsor. And we have no show next week because it is Labor Day, so we're taking the week off. The following week we'll be here, so make sure you come on out and keep up with me at Rye_Myers on Instagram and social media. We'll see who all of our guests are. And finally, if you were here last week, I talked about it, but I'll say it again here because we have a new guest. Next month, Live with Rye and Friends celebrates 1 year of officially doing the talk show. Yes, I will call it pleasure. And I will be doing two-night special shows at the Triad Theater on the Upper West Side, Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway, Live at the Triad. My special guests are going to be announced this week. For those here, I will tell you after the show when we aren't live, because I'm going to have those at home. Where the press release will be going on Tuesday. So I'll tell you all here when we aren't live who the guests will be for the September show. But it's September 26th and October 17th at 9:30. Tickets are on sale now. You can go to RyeMyers.com to get them. And it's going to be a night of celebrating the talk show. We're going to have special surprise Broadway special guests, giveaways. There's a VIP package, and you can also buy tickets online too. Stellar has been great, and I'm working with them for the online portion, so you can buy your tickets online. But I hope you will come out in person for it, or get tickets online to see Live with Rye and Friends on Broadway, Live with the Triad, celebrating 1 year, September 26th and October 17th, both Monday nights at 9:30. And again, as I said, the September 26th guest, I will tell my audience here when we are not live, and then everybody at home and everyone else will see a press release come out on Tuesday announcing who our official guests are for that. So. Yes, and right now I'm going to do some Broadway news. Every week I always start out with Broadway news, talk about what's been going on this past week. So exciting news on the 25th of September, the day before my show, Broadway Flea Market is back. Very exciting, yes. Broadway Flea Market is back this year from 10 to 7 p.m. in Schubert Alley and on West 44th and 45th Streets. I cannot wait. I hope to get to go this year. I was away last year. I was so mad because 2 years we hadn't had it, and I was away, so excited for that. And then it was announced this week that a new musical, which is loosely based on Martin Scorsese's film New York, New York, will come to Broadway, and a theater to be announced, but it's going to be titled New York, New York, and it's coming in March 2023. Susan Stroman is directing, and let's see, it includes songs from the movie by Kander and Ebb, with Lin-Manuel, who's written some new songs in there. And I can say here, I've been hearing rumors this week, I don't know how accurate it is, that leading the cast will be Saleha Pfeiffer and Journey Jordan. So that hasn't been confirmed. As I say, it's just rumors. We all love our theater rumors. But that's what I'm hearing. But I'm very excited for the show. I also heard that supposedly it might be going to the St. James Theater as well. So very excited for New York, New York either way. And I never saw the movie, so this version should be good. And then if you follow Broadway News and Broadway Twitter, I'm sure you've heard that Sweeney Todd is going to be coming to Broadway in 2023. It hasn't officially announced, but the rumor is it'll be going to the L'Enfantin Theater, where Tina Turner just ended. It's going to be led by Jeffrey Seller, who's the producer of Hamilton. He's producing that. Tommy Kail, who's I believe the director of Hamilton, will be directing it. And rumored to be starring is Josh Groban as Sweeney Todd and Annalyn Ashford as Mrs. Lovett. So that's going to be good. This production's supposed to be new and big. And I mean, the L'Enfantin is a huge theater. They've had Beauty and the Beast was there, Tina Turner was there. They've had so many big shows there. So this is going to be a big, big show. And then finally, just wanted to go over some shows that are coming next month. We start September next week. I can't even believe it. We have our fall season officially here. So on September 13th, Cost of Living opens. And then on September 14th, we have Lapelstadt, which will be going to the Longacre Theater. 1776 will start on September 16th, going to the American Airlines. Death of a Salesman on September 19th at the Hudson. The Piano Lesson on September 19th at now the Barrymore Theater. And Top Dog / Underdog, which will be going to the Golden Theater. So some exciting shows. Make sure you get your tickets, and I know I can't wait to get my tickets. So that's the Broadway news. With that, let's help me up with a very special guest. I am so excited to have this person on my show. If you know Broadway and you know TikTok, you know him very well. He has just finished time in this Broadway, the best musical Broadway sensation, The Book of Mormon, and apparently will be going back shortly. Please help me welcome my very special guest, JJ Niemann. Hi. I'm good. You have quite the fan base here. Yay. I love it. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, well, I'm happy to have you. Thanks so much for doing this. So, you grew up in North Carolina, correct? Were you active in performing at all then? And when did you first start performing?
Yeah, I started performing when I was like 8 years old, like as young as I could, to do the children's theater. I was originally born in Annapolis, Maryland, and lived there for 9 or 10 years. And so I always would see my sister in her shows and would go and see. She was in like Cinderella, like Sound of Music, and all those things in the community theater. And so I knew I wanted to do it as soon as I was old enough. Yeah. So I did. Yeah.
I love that. Well, that's exciting. And so you made your debut right out of college. You went to Elon, right? Mm-hmm. Elon University, and you made your debut in the Book of Mormon shortly after college. So take us through that process. How did the Book of Mormon come about directly after college? Did you submit yourself? Did you go to teach it? And I mean, to get done college and go right into one of the biggest musicals on Broadway, it's so exciting.
Yeah, it was really crazy. So our senior year, a lot of schools like musical theater programs do sort of like show releases and things like that. And essentially, we brought agents and casting directors and people to campus. And so an associate of the Book of Mormon casting, they actually they came to campus, to Elon's campus, and we auditioned, did our songs, whatnot, in the third. And so after that, I got an email from Book of Mormon casting randomly one day, just to my personal email. This is before I had an agent, and asked me to send in a self-tape, which now is like our whole world. Everything is on a self-tape. But at the time, I think it was maybe the first one I ever did for a professional gig. And so I sent that in. I had to do a bunch of material from the show and whatnot, and some of my own things. And then I got a call back to come to New York, and that was the 2 days after graduation. So I graduated on a Saturday and packed up my apartment and flew up on Sunday, stayed with my friend on a couch, and then went to the callback, and then got a final callback for the next day and went to that. And then literally got a call later that night that they wanted me to start and go to the music room, go to the theater, sign the contracts, and start music rehearsals. Because I did not even know they needed an immediate replacement. And you never know sometimes when you're auditioning for one of these shows, Mormon, Wicked, Hamilton, whatnot, you don't know if it's for the tour, if it's for Broadway, if it's for now, if it's for 6 months from now, you have no idea. So just getting thrown into that was kind of crazy as a 21-year-old at the time, and yeah, it's been an awesome experience getting to be part of it.
I'm sure it wasn't. I mean, it must have been very difficult to get auditions, I assume, too. I mean, as you all know, I'm sure you've seen Book of Mormon or have seen clips, it's not the most easiest show to perform with all the tap dancing and everything. So that must have been, was that a difficult process when after you did the self-tape and you got sort of into the show? Was the learning the show rather difficult for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the show, it was just such a good fit that it felt, learning everything felt really great. And I mean, I hadn't even seen the show until after I booked it. So the day about it I got it, they let me go and watch it in the standing room. And I was like, what have I got?
They didn't even give you a seat?
No. No, they did not, because they're always sold out. They're like, you can sit on the stairs in the back of the theater, which is where we, as swings, we watch the show. But like, I had never seen the show, and I was like, what have I gotten myself into? Like, it looked so, like, I remember having a huge amount of anxiety watching it. I mean, I also was like crying laughing, but I also had so much anxiety being like, how am I gonna learn all of these, because I was a swing. And so I was like, how am I gonna learn all of this? Like, it just didn't even compute in my brain, so yeah.
Wow. Well, you've been with the show for so long, but do you have a favorite memory of the show or a few favorite memories that stick out particularly, whether it's while performing or if it's somebody that came or, I mean, I know for me, I love you recently, well, I say recently, since Broadway's reopened, you did the Tina Turner's, I think it was, you guys did the backstage thing where you were, what happens backstage with the swing, right?
Yeah.
It's to River Deep Mountain High, right? Yeah.
Oh, I did do that. I did a running underneath the stage. Yes.
So that, I mean, that was cool. Do you have a favorite memory of your time at?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. There's some like obviously chaotic things that have happened on stage. So those are always fun stories. Like one time I like were in a prairie dress in because if you haven't seen the show, like all of the like male, presenting Mormons also play women in the show because there's no like white women in it. And so in some scenes, like in one of them in particular, there's two prairie women. And so one of the nights I was wearing it, and there's also like a cow head in the set that just like sticks out. And so I got my dress caught on the cow head, unbeknownst to me in the moment. And so we're like frozen. And so we go to like step forward and like do the choreography one by one, very like slow motion. If you've seen the show, like the moment in All American Prophet that I'm talking about. Yeah. And I literally like went forward and got yanked back by the set piece, and Lily was like saying profanities like while my mic was on. Like I forgot for a second that like, oh bestie, you're supposed to be singing, and I was like saying profanities, and then like my friend had to like come over and like help unhook me from the cow head, and then like we didn't make the lift, and I was just crying laughing for the rest of the scene. And like we still like people in the cast still talk about that because like it's not every day that you get dragged by a set piece across the stage, but it's fun.
You got dragged. Oh
yeah.
My gosh! Wow, that must have been fun, but it also must have been kind of nerve-wracking too, right? In front of it, because everyone was in front of the audience.
Oh yeah, of course it was. But like the longer I did a show like that, especially swinging, is very humbling because there's simply no way that you're gonna do everything perfectly the first time you're thrown into something and doing something new, and everyone else around you gets to do the same track every day. So like it's been a humbling experience to also not be a perfectionist and not be so hard on myself. Feel like, okay, I messed up that harmony, or okay, like that little quick change might have been a little clunky, but like I'll get it next time. And it's helped me be more positive about that stuff.
Well, that's good. And being a swing is such a big deal and such a big thing, especially in coming back from the pandemic. We see how just important swings in understudies are. But for that show specifically, I could not imagine being a swing learner. And then is there a principal track that you have to learn as well, or is it just ensemble?
Just ensemble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
super chill.
That's
it's so easy, so chill. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot to learn. So was it tough coming out of school and going into a swing position that you're not just learning one part, you're not just playing the ensemble, you're not just the lead, you're like swinging. Was that difficult, something to adjust to, or had you been used to that sort of doing multiple tracks and stuff?
No, I had never understudied or covered a role ever before, so it was all new to me, and it was definitely challenging. It was challenging going in. I mean, I think it was challenging being like a 21-year-old, like coming into the city, and then like trying to adjust to living in New York is enough as is. I think everybody here can attest to that. But like adding that on top of it and not really getting like a true life adjustment after college, and like it's like in one way like the biggest, most exciting story, but also like was really stressful and hard. And of course, I definitely had my days, and I will say like I was there full time for 2.5 years, and at the end of my time, by the time I left, I like had just utmost love for everyone and everything in the building, and it became like a second home to me. And so it's nice now getting to come back like post-pandemic, kind of as an adult a little bit, and like a little bit more grown, and coming back with a different amount of confidence, and just I feel like I know myself myself a lot more. So it's nice to come back now and see everyone, and it's almost like a reunion, but I feel different. Like, I feel like we show people how to treat us, and so when you're valuing yourself or like believing in yourself more, or just like, I don't know, there's something that it comes from the inside out, and people will treat you how you like present to the world and ask to be treated.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is.
No, I went on a tangent.
No, not at all. That is great. I love that.
Yeah.
That is really beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I love the show. I've seen it once. It's been back. I'm gonna see it again. But I've seen the show in all like 3 or 4 times. I saw it more twice. So it's so good. If you haven't seen it, go get tickets. It's so good. Speaking of Book of Mormon, we also do have here at the Broadway Makers Marketplace, which is where we are. We have the reopening night. The Mission Continues fan performance, November 4th, 2021. The first performance back of Book of Mormon. And so if you are a big Book of Mormon fan, or for those here, if you want the reopening night playbill, if you were not there, we have that here for sale. We also have Tomorrow's a Latter Day from Lexicon of Love, and we have some of these Book of Mormon stickers. Is that these pencils? Oh, they say, I believe, God's favorite pencil, Asadina Evil Eye, which, so we have a whole bunch of things here, and you know, if you're a Broadway fan or Book of Mormon fan, we've got it all. So I have to ask, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, how does it feel to have your face and likeness sort of be all over the city? For those who are in the city, for those who don't, if you are walking in the city and you walk past several trash cans and also the Book of Mormon Theater, you will see JJ's on there as one of the Mormons, and he's kind of like sort of spread out. He's like toe tapping.
Yeah, toe touch.
And he's got the big smile, and so. What has that been like? You're all over the city. You're also on the marquee, and you're apparently also in London. So was that like a surreal experience for you?
It is really crazy. I mean, it's really cool. I remember the first day, I had actually just got back to the city a day before from doing some contracts last summer. And it was the end of August, or beginning of August, maybe? Anyway, a friend texted me, one of the castmates, actually, they were going to a rehearsal, and they had just put up all the new marquees and all the new rebranding and ads. And the thing is, we had taken those pictures that was like 2018. That was a long time ago. But they finally switched out everything, as a reopening. And I remember my friend texting me that, and I was like, oh my God. And I went that day, I texted my friend, I said, we gotta film some content. I knew, I was like, I gotta capture this moment, get some photos, get some videos. And then now, I mean, I literally get messages and DMs every single day because for some reason I'm not being used as the promotion for the tour because it's non-union, if you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, it doesn't matter. But they can't use the Broadway people or equity people for that promotion. But all around the UK tour, London, Amsterdam, every single, they're on tour around Europe, and my friends will just send me pictures every day. My friend was in Scotland the other day, and I was on a bus in a toe touch, just going by. And she was like, hey! So,
that is amazing.
It's cool, it's surreal.
Yeah, that is really surreal. I mean, you feel like you made it. I mean, you made it just being on Broadway, but the fact that you're on buses, you're on trash cans, you're on the marquee, I mean, that feels cool. It does feel good. You made it, and you know you made it when you get on the trash can.
Yeah.
Folks,
Oh, yeah.
When you get your picture on the trash can. That is really cool. I want to ask you. So I don't know about you all, but there seems to be, and I don't disrespect you, but there seems to be a lot of Mormons in my neighborhood. A lot of the boys that have come about and trying to recruit us to go to church. And I have to say, I'm in Yorkville. I'm on the Upper East Side. Okay. And I feel like I'm seeing it more and more, and it takes everything inside of me to not be to not go have you heard of the All-American Prophet, or be do some Book of Mormon thing. So my question is, I mean, have you had this experience, and do you have you sort of turned some Book of Mormon lines on them, or because they mean well, and I know that they're on a mission and stuff like that. But it's funny because they're like, do you want to come to church? Or they're like, oh, no. And I'm like, and I think of do you want to read this book by God? And I really want to start singing from the Book of Mormon, but I don't also know if they know it.
Right.
So
they know it. I'm
sure
they know it a little bit.
Have you had any sort of interactions with these Mormons?
I mean, literally yesterday, I can't make this up. Yesterday, I was walking into CVS out of the train, and it just took me aback because I saw 2 Mormons walking towards me. And they were like, hey, brother, you want to come to church on Sunday? Or tomorrow, because it was yesterday. And they were like, you want to come to church tomorrow? And I just didn't respond. I think I was in shock for a second, and I was just walking in. They said, all right, God bless. And I was like, dang, that was a perfect opportunity to, I don't know what I would have made a video with them. Maybe I should ask them if they want to be in a TikTok video.
Yes.
I don't know, do something Book of Mormon related. I can teach some choreography on the streets of Hamilton Heights. You know?
You could say you run a like a religious account.
Yeah. That's good. We know now.
They're like, yeah, sure.
I'm prepared now. Yeah.
Oh my God, you all know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you all have seen them throughout the city. And they're harmless. It's just so funny because and sometimes there's a few times I'll be on the escalator at the train and I'll see them and they're in front of me or they're walking in front of me and I just want to be like 2 by 2. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not gonna. But I was just curious because being in that, it's got to be even more funny to see them and not want to quote from the show or like when they come up and say stuff.
There's an ad in the playbill, I'm pretty sure, for the church.
Oh,
so
really?
they utilize that marketing, and every once in a while you'll come out the stage door and there's people there with like books of Mormons and are like trying to give them away, and I'm like, that's kind of iconic. Use it branding.
I mean, apparently that there are Mormons who really do like the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is amazing. Now, the Book of Mormon also does have a big fan base, so that, I don't know what Mormon is doing right now because I know some shows are doing the same show, some aren't, but what has it been like to interact with the fans of the Book of Mormon and to hear them, how much they've seen the show and how much they love it, and, you all have sort of a cult following. I feel like the Book of Mormon fans follow the boys from, from the start to finish in their whole career, so what has that been like for the fan experience?
I mean, like, I for example, like, for the fan performance, they did, like, a whole contest, which you went to. Like, they did a whole contest for you to submit, like, why you wanted to go, and they gave away almost all the tickets giveaway were all just for fans, and it was all free, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, so, and I actually helped launch their TikTok account. I did it, like, red carpet basically interviewing people in line, getting in for the theater, and getting to, like, ask them Book of Mormon trivia. Like, it was fun to hear how some people had never seen it, but most people had seen it like many times and just really loved the show. So it was really fun to like interact with them in that experience.
Oh my gosh, that's really cool. Yeah, I was not at that reopening performance. I wanted to, but a lot of friends went and they said it was really cool. So that's awesome. And they must have been happy you watched their TikTok. They were really happy about that.
It was fun.
Well, on that note of TikTok, transitioning a little bit, how did you transition to becoming literally a influencer? I know people use that word, people are literally an influencer, content creator influencer on TikTok. And how did this come about? And where do you come up with your ideas? And you think so much into it, which is great. I mean, I know you are. I don't know what the proper word for it is, but I know you're repped by an influencer agency, and you have official influencer gigs you do. So how did that come about? Did it come about in the pandemic? Did you do it before that? And I mean, I find it so fascinating. Influencers, and especially with people who are also actually talented as well. So
awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
Well, there's some truth to that, a little bit. No, I fell into it a little bit during the pandemic. I did not set out I don't know what I set out to do, but like I just started making videos and I was actually really terrified of TikTok. My friends, I was doing a show in Seattle at the time, Bliss the Musical, which is a new musical coming soon. Woo, come on, make some noise. But yeah, so I was doing, I had just left Book of Mormon and I was in Seattle, and I remember my friend was like, you have to download TikTok. And so I downloaded it, but all I saw was like dances and things, and I was like, this seems like out of my age range already. And I was like 23, and I was like, I don't know about this. So then everything shut down, and I was home all of a sudden, moved home with my family as like an adult, and I was going through my childhood closet and everything, and going through and moving in as an adult. I kind of like just took a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, cleaned through and got rid of a lot of stuff. And I found all my old wigs because I used to make YouTube videos as like a 12, 13, 14-year-old. Oh, and my sisters used to give me wigs for my birthdays and Christmas and whatnot. And so I was like, I used to love making videos, but I stopped because like the internet is scary, and also like it's busy. And when you are committed to doing theater, it's like really, it takes a lot of time. You're going to school for it, whatnot. And so I started making videos again, lip syncing at first, and then I was so scared to have my voice out there because I like hate the sound of my own voice, which I feel like everyone does.
Same here.
Right, like everyone does, and it's self-hating homophobia. But like
I like your voice. I think you got a great.
Thank you. I do now. But at the time, I was like a little like.
No, actually, I hate my voice too.
Yeah. So I think it's everyone. Sometimes you hear it back on the phone, and you're like, that's not what I sound like. But yeah, so I just started making them, and it kind of snowballed, and I just ended up finding this whole community online and understanding the humor and how to use social media more. And it's just turned into what it is now. And yet, like you said, I'm up to my a manager now in LA, and so I have like my LA manager and agents in New York for theatrical stuff, and it's been really helpful. I mean, they've opened my eyes, and they do all of the hard stuff for me.
Yeah.
With the brand deals, I don't know how people could negotiate that stuff on your own, but it's been awesome for that to kind of become like my business now, and I have a name for myself and have a business separate from theater, but it's also intertwined.
And I think it's great too because it's as you said, it's a business, and that must be great for those times that you're in between jobs to be able to still really be working in a sense because you have these brand deals and you get paid, and from what I understand, I mean some of these brand deals pay quite very well. So that must also be nice to literally have this new business that is doing what you love, but also providing an income. And have you connected with other sort of TikTok influencers?
Yeah.
Just from this, from going to a lot of different events and stuff that they send you to.
Yeah, it's fun to start like meeting people at like the premieres and things and whatnot, and yeah, it's just it's really cool. I mean, the crazy thing is before the pandemic and before I started making videos, like I couldn't even I was on Broadway, for example, for like 2.5 years with Mormon. I could not get asked to do one damn 54 Below show. I was like, how do all these people do these concerts? Like, how do you meet people? And I think, honestly, a lot of the industry, as amazing as joining a Broadway show is, sometimes these long-running shows, you actually kind of you can't rely on that to give you connections. So I was doing a show every night, but I was like, I'm not really meeting any new directors or new people, or I'm kind of doing the same show every day. So I don't need to say it's a dead-end job in a bad way because it's an amazing job and it's the dream job. But you're not necessarily going to meet creative teams to do workshops, readings, new musicals. And now it's people just my name, thankfully, is out there. So I get asked to do more than I could say yes to, which is an abundance of blessings, which is awesome. Yeah,
well,
very thankful.
Well, and for those who don't know, he's got 77.9 million likes on his TikTok and 943,000 followers on TikTok. This was as of early this morning, so it could have gone up. It probably has. So quite a lot, and you've got tons of Instagram followers as well. So, I mean, do you feel that, social media there's a lot of social media aspect in, I feel like, the Broadway world and in the entertainment world, and for somebody who's immersed in it, do you feel like is it a positive thing, or do you feel like it could be a curse? Because I've been seeing a lot. I did an internship in casting years ago, one of the big casting offices, and one of the things I've been seeing and hearing is that I see a lot of times people, they want to have the name attached to it, so there's a project that's at least cast because, or in something because they have the followers. They have, and so do you think that if you're a performer, if you're an actor or a creative, that having a social media presence is super important because it gives you those other opportunities, or do you think that just doing what you're doing is good? Good. Not good enough, I should say, is fine. Or do you think that social media presence is important?
I do think social media is important in to an extent. I think, thankfully, the theater industry, the theater industry can be very gatekeepy anyway. As amazing as Broadway is in so many things, the same people get asked to do a lot of stuff. So I do think the interesting thing is, I think a lot of theater producers are very old-fashioned. I don't think they actually care about followings. They care more about names and Tony Awards. So I think that's actually important because you have to have talent to do those things. And having a big following, I don't want to get a single role because I have a following, and if that's why, I don't want it.
Yes.
But I do understand that if you are also coming to the table and very talented and bringing what you can do, and you have that, that's going to be, it's only a positive, So I could see it impacting maybe if it gets down between you and one person.
Yeah.
But and a lot of times, like I said, for these concerts or new musicals, they like to have people come see the show. They want to have some people with followings, but I think for the most part, it's still very much a career or a talent-based career, and I think that's a good thing. And I think anything that you do out of authenticity is going to be good. So if you're setting out, I'm seeing a lot of it, and I feel some type of way about it, but I think setting out on social media and creating content just for the sole purpose of getting your name out there, people know who you are, creating a career around it or making money off of it, you can kind of smell it from a mile away. And I think, granted, it's a business, so honey, make it work for yourself, make it work, do it. But I think just always try to lead with authenticity, and if you're trying to get a quick shot to fame, then usually people can tell. So just try to stay true to yourself, I guess.
I like that. Well, and how would you recommend that people to be themselves? I mean, because there is a lot of people who are out there who just want to, shoot the fame. I mean, we live in that society that is what we see. I mean, we're sort of sped that at sort of every angle, of like, becoming a viral, it's become viral. So how would you say though to be your best authentic self? And because there are a lot of people who are themselves, but everything you see on social media, it's like it's an ad for this, an ad for that, an ad for that, and even though they are, I know them and they're authentic selves, it does still sort of seem like, okay, this is like, as you said, you can smell it, like still a mile away. So how does one be their authentic self, but also still put out content that is meaningful and impactful as an influencer or as somebody that is growing their brand?
Well, it seems counterintuitive, but the thing with apps like TikTok is that like they value authenticity, and so like if you're, I think a lot of times like just following trends, I think like the thing that made me like get a lot of views and a lot of traction on social media was like my mic on off videos and like my backstage kind of content and like the backstage POVs, and like I just came up with that like by accident. Like I didn't intend for that to become a series, for example. I was sitting there like thinking, for some reason, I think it was probably in the shower or just like doing my skincare routine or something, and I was thinking about Waitress, and I was like, what do you think those ensemble members who have to come on stage and sit in the booths at the back of the stage just for like 15 minutes at a time while there's solos and duets happening, what do they talk about? Are they in character? I think not, because even in Book of Mormon, when we're like mics are off for 5 seconds, we're saying something to each other out of character.
Right.
Sorry, giving away the secrets, but that's the truth. And so, meaning if the scene is not focused on you, you can find the times to do it. And so like that just became, and that like people know me for that now because it was something that like, it wasn't a trend that I was following, it was something I did. So like, you just kind of have to throw stuff out there and see what happens, see what sticks, and it cannot be like, okay, well if this doesn't get like more than 2,000 views, like I'm deleting it. Like you have to just be willing to like post something and like, you never know what people are gonna gravitate towards. So sometimes just like post it.
That's true. I mean, that's such a good advice. I mean, I love to hear that. Let's do a trivia question. I'm giving away a pair of these tickets. So you all here, I'm going to say a trivia question. If you know it, raise your hand, or if not, shout it out. But I want to make sure somebody gets it correctly. And I don't want to. I want everybody to get a fair shot. So raise your hand if you can. Let's see. Okay, what was Disney on Broadway's first Broadway musical that they ever produced? Not Aladdin. Beauty and the Beast. Yes. Beauty and the Beast. Here you go. Here's a ticket voucher for 2 tickets to Royal Oak. If you scan the QR code there, it'll take you to the form to fill out. It's a brand new experimental show. It's down at the Soho Playhouse. So, tickets are fabulous. And are these pencils to give away, or were these?
Yeah.
Okay. No, so we know later on.
The producer says we can.
Just making sure. Fabulous. And we will do, we will do one more.
Could you do one for at home too?
Do one?
We have a lot of home.
Okay, great. So for those at home, who are watching at home, and I should have put at home questions. I did. That's all right. So at home, who was the original Elder Price in the Book of Mormon? Who originated the role as Elder Price in the Book of Mormon?
For home?
Yeah, for home.
Right here.
Yeah.
No Googling.
Yeah, I was saying no Googling.
Andrew Reynolds.
Andrew Reynolds, yes, congratulations. Jacob. Yeah, he gets it all the time. Congrats, Jacob. We'll get you a prize. That's awesome. Well, thank you. So we have more trivia questions coming. So I saw something recently. You just recently sang Santa Fe from Newsies, and that's a dream role of yours. You were saying you want to be in that show.
I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it was one that I was supposed to play like pre-COVID, and it got canceled. So it was
But I could see if they do a revival of that, which it's about. I think it's super revival. I could see you as one of the.
I mean, that was literally one of the shows. I remember going with my dad to see that on Broadway, and that was the show that I saw, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, I want to do this professionally, not just like for fun. And that was one of the times that, like, I don't know, really, just really inspired me.
Yeah, and I would say I feel like the fan bases are a little bit of the same. If you have the hardcore, the music boys, and you have the Mormon boys, and the fan bases, I feel like are pretty hardcore, pretty intense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of that, you're going to be performing for us.
Yeah.
Let's get that set up. What are you going to be singing for us today?
I'm going to be singing a song from Book of Mormon. So free promo for you, Book of Mormon, if anyone's watching at home. And this is You and Me, but mostly me. And it's normally a duet in the show.
Right.
But I will sing it as a solo and try my best to do it as a
I
solo.
love it. No, I love it. I love it. I love it. So when you get it queued up,
Will you stay here with me to act with me?
Oh, sure. Let me get
Just
you.
stand there and smile and look pretty.
Okay, should I pull up the lyrics? Because I don't know it by heart. So.
Oh no, it's okay. You don't have to sing. I'll just like that even is more fitting.
All right, sure.
You can let me sing.
I would love it. Okay. As long as you don't mind, I'm happy to.
This is also Andrew Reynolds saying this originally, so.
All right, happy to. So.
Ready?
I've always had hope.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Should we restart?
It's playing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Let's
Stand by.
stand by.
Acapella. Put your hands together. Yeah. Yes, come on.
Live performance, everyone. We love it. Hey.
We're new to the tracks of it all.
Yes. But I love that I get to be your.
No. This could just be a
Hey,
single.
you know what?
Next one. Roll the next one.
Tonight, well, while he's getting that cleared up, actually, we do have a Come From Away meetup happening. We do have a Come From Away meetup happening this week on Tuesday. Happening on Tuesday, we have the real Kevin T here from, you've seen Come From Away, the character Kevin T. He's going to be here signing books, and we have Happy McPark, who's currently in the Book of Mormon, who's currently in Come From Away, will be here as well performing. It's we're doing 9/11 Acts of Service, which is Kevin's foundation, and they're trying to do several acts of service, so come on out, and yeah. So have you, while we're getting this figured out, have you met Andrew Reynolds in the original cast? Did they come and see the show since
I haven't met Andrew Reynolds. I have met Nikki and James. She's amazing.
I love it.
And I met Josh Gad. That was really cool. Yeah, they'll like come to sometimes like the holiday parties or like the anniversary parties, things like that. Yeah, you never know who's gonna show up. Like the Creeds of South Park, like all the people. Yeah.
Wow. Those are like the parties that you guys have, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. And you've got the creators of South Park too, right?
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that. And was that fun?
Yeah. I mean, and they were also at the fan performance too, which is really cool.
Casey spoke before the show
Yeah,
started. He was up in a little box.
Super cool.
Michael, are we almost yeah, can you verify the track just real quickly? Because I want to
sure.
it's the wrong track. Yes. Can we take 2 minutes of that? Let's correct. Is that the correct track?
This for the green one. Yes.
That one, because I clicked that.
Yeah. No, that's right.
That one's that's right. We will try that. Stand by, folks.
Live theater. Know any good jokes, JJ?
Oh gosh, that's my kryptonite. That question right there. Because no, I don't. I simply don't.
Most challenging dance move?
Most challenging dance move. Oh gosh, anything with like the back flexibility. You know how like ballet dancers where they have arabesque. Ooh, don't give me an arabesque, Lord. Because it's like, I just don't have it. I don't have it.
So, well, and being able to perform and make your dancing skills even better, right? Or sharpen them even more.
Well, the dancing is very cardio heavy. Like it's not super crazy like intense like in terms of technicality.
Right.
But it definitely made me more confident tapper for sure. Like tapping, I do love to do, but it's not like my number one skill set.
Right. Okay.
And tapping while you're, I don't want to give away the best change, but tapping while you're changing your costume basically is a little daunting.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's like a whole like you can't like it's like the whole Disney thing. You can't like reveal how anything's done in
Right.
shows. But you did actually, but you shared a TikTok that, or what's called, I guess, a duet of somebody who was talking. They were analyzing like during that.
They got some of it right, but some of it was not right.
I'm
They
curious.
missed some things.
You all have seen the Mormon, right? You posted the show. For those who've seen it, how do you think? I mean, I know you can't tell us, but how do you think that those are done? That particular guys, the turn it off scene where they instantly they turn it off. How do you think?
I think that might be hidden underneath, like it's hidden in the pot in their mouth, and that they whip it out and allow it to go out. It's like two snaps that they snap.
That's what I thought.
Back.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you have any thoughts?
I think it's more magical if we don't know.
True.
Period.
That's true. I know.
Yes.
I'm curious. I was leaving.
Very
I love it. I love it. Well, that was like, I think it was, which show was it? I think it was one of the big Disney shows, and there was some sort of, it was meeting the transformation. I thought it was like a big thing. Everybody was always asking about like, how's the transformation happen? And they were like, sworn secrecy is like they can't say a word, and so.
Honestly, the Frozen one, I'm scarred after seeing that fail. I'm always like nervous for the.
Oh, why was there a fail?
Oh, there's a viral video of like it was at Disneyland.
Oh,
like, I don't think it was on Broadway, but there was a snafu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Broadway version, I think it's pretty solid.
That's so interesting. Oh wow, yeah. Well, so what has been sort of your favorite TikTok videos you recorded? Has there been a different trend that you hopped on that you really enjoyed, or is there a video that you recorded that's been your favorite? Or
I mean, I really, for a little while, I was doing them the ones where like you're catching your cast members like in the wings, like backstage, versus like what is on stage, and like it's just so fun now because I'll go into a show, like I recently did a show in Cape Cod, I did Grease there, and it was so funny that our castmates, like I just posted a video the other day, but one of my castmates was like a huge prankster, and one day she like pretended to give birth off stage to one of our tech crew members. Another day she did a whole production. She got a flashlight. I posted this on TikTok, so you can go see it for y'all at home and you hear.
Right.
But she got a flashlight, put a green film over it, made it a witch hat, a cloak, and put a ladder backstage. And during our finale of You're the One That I Want, we one by one like go across the stage, and we all like pass the
oh, that's not you? Oh, I thought that was.
Oh, it wasn't me. It was my
I thought that
castmate.
was you.
No, she put this whole production together, and she and the tech crew helped her, and she like literally was performing as Elphaba backstage, and we all were like crying, laughing on stage. And I was like, it's so funny now after my videos to like see it happen in real life, and you're like, this really is what we do. Like it's just a bunch of goofballs. It's
Oh,
fun.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I don't know why I'm speaking.
We're set.
Like,
Fabulous. All right. Well, we are set, so we're going to take this performance again, you and me, but mostly me. JJ, take it away.
here we go. Oh, she's not out. She doesn't know words. Is this on? Okay. Hey! Oh, that is very hot. Love that. Oh, it's right. I've always had the hope that on the day I go to heaven, Heavenly Father will shake my hand and say, you've done an awesome job, Kevin. And now it's our time to go out and set the world's people free. And we can do it together, you and me, but mostly me. Hey, I stayed on the tongue a little bit. You and me, but mostly me, are gonna change the world forever. 'Cause I can do most anything, and you can stand next to me and watch. Yeah, every hero needs a sidekick. Every captain needs a mate. Every dinner needs a side dish on a slightly smaller plate. Yeah, and now we're seeing eye to eye. It's so great we can agree that Heavenly Father has chosen you and me, just mostly me. Something incredible. I'll do something incredible. I wanna be the Mormon who changed all of mankind. It's something I've foreseen. Now that I'm 19, I'll do something incredible that blows God's freaking mind. And as long as we stick together and you stay out of my way, we can change the world forever and make tomorrow a latter day, just mostly me. So quit singing about it and do it. How ready and psyched are we? That life is about to change for you, and life is about to change for me, and life is about to change for you and me, just me mostly. And there's no limit to what we can do, me and you. It's really loud. But mostly me. Thank you for being a sea partner.
My pleasure. I know. I was like, I hope I was okay. I was like, this is awkward, but it was fun. I'm like, wait, doesn't he sing in some of the parts? But yeah, I'm on my first time being a scene partner, so it's the closest I'll get to Broadway, probably. So.
Yes.
Now, give another round of applause for JJ. It works great. Yeah, it's great. Let's do another trivia question. We're going to give away another set of tickets here. So this question is, what was the first Broadway musical with an all-female creative team?
Waitress.
Waitress! Yes! Congratulations! I was going to say, we spoke about the show was mentioned earlier, so
That's crazy how recent that was.
I know, isn't that insane?
Something's not right.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's not
I was surprised. It's not a surprise. Okay, so for the Book of Mormon pencils, which will be our final prize, here, so let's see. What university did JJ say he went to?
Oh, I almost went there.
Did you really?
Oh. Elon.
Delphina.
Yes!
Great.
Congratulations.
Okay, I love the way you say Elon. I love that.
Oh, awesome. Well, yes, I love that accent. I was like, I saw it was an accent. I was like, wait, no,
People call it Ellen though. Ellen DeGeneres, Elon Musk, and this thing,
I love it. So what advice would you give to performers who are in school currently and they're wanting to pursue Broadway professionally as a career? What would your advice be for them?
Oh wow. Like what would I tell myself if I could go back?
Sure. Or for those who are in school currently, what would you give to the younger?
I mean, I think it's very, very quintessential. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of like actors talk about it, but like everyone's path is so different.
Right.
And to really, really genuinely trust that. And sometimes you're like, this is mine, this has to be it. And like, it doesn't happen. And people say it time and time again, but what's meant for you will not pass you by. It's going to happen. And I think sometimes like the universe presents an opportunity to you and you are not ready. Like there are some things that I'm like so heartbroken about that I didn't get at the time. And then like looking back, I'm like, wow, I was not ready for that. And now I'm going in for these rooms for some crazy things that I'm like 4 years ago or like 5 years ago, I just simply didn't even have the confidence to believe that I can do it. So how would I convince anybody on the other side of the table that I could, you know?
Right.
So I don't know, just as much as you can, trust your own path and your own journey and that everything is gonna happen inside. And keep just working at it.
I love that. Yeah, trusting the journey is so important. Keep the faith. And on that same note, what would the advice that you would give for those who are sort of creating a social media presence and online, and whether their focus is in the entertainment industry or it's in the beauty space or whatever it's in, if they're creating a social media presence, what would your advice be in growing their brand? What would you say to them?
I mean, sometimes like patience is key and persistence is key. So like sometimes with these apps, like you just kind of, like I said earlier, like authenticity is like the most valuable thing because if you care about something or you love something or you think something is genuinely funny, like just like someone else will. Like my content is not funny for everyone. Like people who don't know theater are gonna think it's corny as you know what. And so like I have to kind of like block out the haters and like remind myself like, oh, my humor and my content is not for everyone. And there's some people who are gonna be homophobic or some people who are gonna be XYZ and don't like theater or think it's corny. Some people literally do not. How dare they? I know, what a sad life. But that's just a testament that like it takes time sometimes and persistence and patience to find your own audience and like find your people in your community. So just keep going at it, and I think it'll happen if you care enough about it and it's something you want to do. I think it'll happen.
I love that. And lastly, how can people work with you? I know you're a coach, and I also know you have Jazzing with JJ. I love that.
Oh my God, it's in a minute since I've done that.
I need to do the jazz. I feel like it's Jazzing with JJ. How can people work with you, and what do you offer for those who work with you?
Yeah, I do a lot of coachings, just one-on-ones. Like you can, go directly through my website. I also do like Broadway Plus /artists.
We love Broadway Plus.
We
yes,
love them.
Yes.
I do a lot of
Friends of the
coaching
show.
with them.
Broadway Plus. Yes.
Yes, deep friends of the show.
Well, yes, and true, because they've done some talks. I was a host for them during most of 2020 and 2021, doing all of their virtual events, and on top of them keeping everyone employed, I was hosting. I mean, like October 2020 through March of 2021, they did 75 events hosting Broadway themed events. So I mean, they're something else. Yeah. So,
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, any of those things, like I do private coachings. It's been a minute since I've done my jazzing with JJ, but I gotta get back into it. I think pre-pandemic, I really wanted to do a lot of choreo.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just like, my life has taken a little bit of a turn, and I'm like, no. We're staying in the performing lane for now. So yeah, but I still love teaching, and I'm available to book for any I'm teaching at Wagner College next week, so like I teach at schools and stuff all the time too.
And where can we follow you? What's the socials and what are the websites?
Oh yeah, everything is just at JJ Niemann. It's just my name, JJNIEMANN, and same with my website as well.
Amazing. Well, JJ, thank you so much for being a guest today, for rolling with the punches, and I'm so happy to talk to you. There's so much more I feel like we could talk about. You're welcome back anytime. Let's give another round of applause for JJ, everyone. This is Live with Rye Friends on Broadway here at the Broadway Makers Marketplace. Make sure you check out the Broadway Makers Marketplace here or online. There is no show next week. Because of Labor Day, it's Memorial Day. And make sure you buy tickets to Live with Rye Friends on Broadway, Live with the Triad, which is celebrating 1 year. It's my 1 year anniversary show on September 26th and October 17th. Or you can buy tickets online and watch Be Stellar. Go to RyeMyers.com and you'll see the pop-up as soon as you turn on. And when this goes up, I'll tell everyone here who the special guests are. Thank you so much, everyone. And as you see there, for those watching at home, there should be pop-ups as to websites and everything for JJ, but also for my shows as well. And keep watching me at Rye_Myers on social media. I post about who our guests are every week. And make sure you check out the Broadway Makers Marketplace. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great week.